Hello, it's Natalie from the Fertility podcast, which if you haven't heard of, it's a podcast for you if you're trying to conceive and finding it's taking longer than you'd hoped. I speak to fertility experts as well as men and women sharing their stories. And this video is part of the Ultimate Fertility Guide, which is an online directory where I'm trying to bring all areas of the fertility world into one place with a listing for you to find out more about them and a video chat. And today I'm delighted to welcome Kate Davis, who is a fertility nurse consultant, to talk about the work she does helping women get their heads around PCOS. Kate, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Natalie. Thanks for having me.
Let's first of all explain what PCOS is if people are listening going, what? Or they're here going, yes, tell me, because I know I have it and I hear about it, but what is it?
Well, PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome, is a really complex syndrome that's to do with hormones and insulin resistance, and often can be lots and lots of cysts on the ovaries which stop women ovulating. It's quite a debilitating condition, actually, but there's so much you can do to control it.
So what don't women realise when it comes to PCOS? What are the main kind of errors that people are making?
Not so much their error, but often they're told by their doctors that they're not ovulating. And when you get a diagnosis that you're not ovulating, that's really devastating. But
Sure.
actually, what we found is that most women with PCOS will ovulate at some point, but it just won't be every month or every cycle. So with severe PCOS, for example, women can go for months and months and months on end without ovulating, which, like I said, is very concerning, because how they're going to get pregnant if they're not ovulating. And often they're told that they're not ovulating because they have a day 21 progesterone test taken on day 21 of their cycle, which, if you've got PCOS and you're having a long cycle, it's impossible to know when that is. And that will show that they're not ovulating, but it's probably because they've not ovulated yet, and it's going to happen a little bit later down the line.
So let's go for your top 3 tips for controlling PCOS. Obviously, there's a lot that you can do with monitoring your cycle as a starting point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that actually is my number 1 tip, is to get empowered and start tracking your cycles, because by monitoring your natural fertility indicators, you can really determine when you're going to ovulate. You can see when it happens, and that reassurance of knowing when you ovulate is huge, because you know that you are ovulating, that actually you can conceive, although it's going to be harder. So that's number 1 tip. Number 2 tip is definitely work on nutrition and diet. The only way to control PCOS effectively and control insulin resistance that is part of PCOS is to have a really low carb, low sugar diet, and that is fundamental. Not only will women start then to lose weight, but they'll start to ovulate as their insulin levels come back to normal, which then all their female sex hormones come back to normal as a result. And the third one is to find the right supplements for you. So there are particular supplements for women with PCOS that ideally they should be taking. One of those is called inositol, and it has amazing benefits on cycle regulation. But there are other supplements. So consulting the right person to get the right advice on the supplements that you should be taking is my number 3 tip.
Which is why we're talking, because Kate is about to start her 30-day PCOS challenge. We're speaking in February. It's going to be starting at the beginning of March. And obviously it's a 30-day challenge, but what type of things in a quick snippet can people expect to learn and gain from it?
Okay, well, over the 30 days, it's kind of bumped into a week chunks. And every week there's a live webinar with me and an expert webinar. And each week is a different topic. So the first week is all about motivation and goal setting, because to take back control of your PCOS, it's quite hard to do, and you need to find the motivation and set yourself some goals. The second week is all about nutrition, where I have an expert nutritionist talking about the right foods to eat, the right nutrition, diet plans, giving you recipes, all this lovely information. The third week is all about exercising, and right exercise for PCOS, because you need to exercise in a very particular way to help lose weight with PCOS. So I've got a fantastic personal trainer who is an expert on PCOS involved in that third week.
Okay.
And the fourth week is all about supplements and herbs, and I've got a herbalist who's an expert in PCOS, and she'll be talking about the right types of herbs, and I'll be talking about the right types of supplements to take.
Amazing.
Giveaways as well. I've got partners that I'm working with to support the challenge, and I've got some amazing giveaways to give to all the challenge members. So I'm really excited.
All right, well, good luck. And all the details of Kate's challenge will be in the links below this video, and have a look at the Ultimate Fertility Guide where you can find out more about Kate. Again, all the details will be listed below. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you.